If you're Chinese and want to complain about your government, this is where you come, if you're brave enough. The National Petitions Office is ringed by plainclothes police, and coming here isn't encouraged. Foreign journalists aren't welcome either. It's all part of China's media control machine that would have you believe all is calm and stable here.
Hey, what's going on?
Don't be fooled. Below the surface, China is seething with discontent. This is a slum of the downtrodden, where victims of injustice come to live while petitioning the government. We arrived unannounced, but within seconds were being mobbed by people desperate for our attention. They showed us photographs and held up banners with stories of corruption, police brutality and sons killed in detention. Crowding in, determined their voices were heard. One of the women pleaded with us to film her, saying she'd been beaten by police. These are very rare pictures in China. This kind of discontent is seldom filmed. We couldn't stay long. They said the police were coming. But in just 4 minutes, we'd attracted a growing crowd. Before leaving, our camera was drawn to a man bearing the burn scars of a past protest. His banner read, "Human rights are more important than living." But this is what's causing the greatest anger. Homes and land being seized by the government and sold to developers to build on. These are some of the victims. They've spent all winter living in tents in temperatures well below freezing, after their own governments demolished their homes to develop the land. We wanted to record their story. The police had been tipped off we were coming, and were determined to stop us filming. So we went back at night. This small tent is all Wan Baolong and his wife have left to live in. He told me how the government evicted him by force, so he set up camp where his house once stood. All he wants is enough compensation to buy a new home. It takes courage in China to talk to foreign journalists and criticize your own government like this.
There's nothing we can do. Nothing. We went to the Chinese media, but they're too scared to report it. The government won't listen. They just bully the ordinary people. They're eating our flesh and drinking our blood. They're picking our bones clean.
Wang Shuiyi is another demolition victim. This is all that's left of the home she'd lived in since childhood. She's put up her tent where her living room was. In it she's made a shrine to her late husband. He died after they were given their eviction notice. She claims officials hounded him to his death.
They're stealing our homes. It's theft. Just theft. The poor have no human rights, no way of surviving. We've been everywhere for help.
This is the flip side to China's economic miracle. In the country's massive property boom, government officials and developers are making untold billions seizing people's land to build on. It's a land grab on an unprecedented scale, and the full force of the state is being used to crush any protest. It looks like a medieval battle, but this is protest control in 21st century China. An army of hired thugs move in on villagers to seize their land. They're armed with guns and stun grenades that meet fierce resistance, as villagers fight back with farm tools in a pitched battle last year that claimed 6 lives. These kinds of clashes are hardly ever filmed, but they're happening more and more often. Apart from the violence, the pictures are striking because they're taken by the protesters themselves. More and more people are filming what's happening to them. Here, neighbours secretly record the moment police drag an old man from his home. Then his ill wife is hauled away, still in her sick bed. Minutes later, demolition teams move in to tear down their house for development. These poignant pictures are of a man racked with grief in the minutes after his house is demolished. He argues with police in impotent fury before claiming what's left of his home, sitting on its rubble, consoling his grandson. We can only catch glimpses, but in booming China, there's an unequal struggle raging between the poor and the powerful that the government would prefer the world didn't see. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News, Beijing.